Hey there, world travelers. It's Mike over at Taxes and Bricks. Welcome to episode 41. Today is Lego Day! Yay! Exciting times. So, gonna break from the taxes for a day here and we're gonna do some Lego. We are gonna stay overseas all day today. First, we're going to visit the Sydney Opera House. We are going to take a walk on over to Big Ben, and we're going to go take a look at Villa Savoy. Exciting. And then the Sungyemun Gate. Yes, I had to Google how to say that. Anyway, sets 21012, 21013, 21014, and 21016. You notice we skipped 15. The sets today are all from the class of 2012, and they kind of skipped a step here. Set 21015 actually was released in 2013. So even though in sort of set number we would normally go that direction, we're going to wait till next time because that one is part of the class of 2013. So without further ado, let's pop on over to Australia. In a stunning demonstration of how, pedestrian your illustrious host happens to be, what I find most interesting about Sydney Opera House is it appears in 3 different Lego sets. You see it here in architecture form, and again released in 2012. It was also included as part of the Sydney Skyline set, which is also an architecture set that we'll see in a later episode. But then Lego went ahead and did an actual full giant version of the Sydney Opera House. Huge scale. I actually bought it. Kind of took a look and said, I don't want to put it together. And so I ended up trading my giant creator expert Sydney Opera House for Diagon Alley with a friend. Because there you go. Obviously more interested in a, fictional village than I am of some building with actual historical significance. So there you have it. Couple of fun facts about the actual Sydney Opera House, the real Sydney Opera House. It was commissioned as part of a competition to design an opera house, a concert venue in Sydney, Australia. And the prize was awarded to a gentleman by the name of Jorn Utzon. And it was picked out of 233 different entries. Construction began in 1959 and continued on until 1973 when the Opera House opened up. It is a fairly substantial building, probably one of the most recognizable, not only in Sydney, but also in the world. It's right there in Sydney Harbor. You see it in movies and pictures anytime. You ever see sort of a picture of really anything Australia-wise, historically, or anything of that nature, you'll see a photograph of the Sydney Opera House. It stands 213 feet tall with 641,292 square feet. It is considered modernist or expressionist in terms of its design. The Lego model itself, actually designed by Adam Reed Tucker, posed a couple of problems. The first was that there really wasn't any piece to kind of really capture the roof sails that have become sort of the iconic symbol of this building. So they actually used parts that typically go on sort of an airplane or an aircraft, and rather than have them sideways to kind of make up the body of an airplane and kind of denote the aerodynamics and the sort of the front or the back of the airplane, they just kind of turned them flat and kind of angled them outwards and kind of used clip pieces to clip them on. These do actually kind of move a little bit, but I try not to touch the model too much because otherwise I'll break it. So there you have it, the Sydney Opera House 21012. From Sydney, Australia to London, England, we pop on over to take a look at Big Ben, but not this Big Ben. This is one of the larger creator expert sets that is not in the architecture series of Big Ben. Big Ben, like the Sydney Opera House, also appears in 3 separate sets. there is, of course, this big creator expert set like the Sydney Opera House, but I don't have the larger Sydney Opera House. We then have in also the skyline of London. There's a London skyline set as well, where you see Big Ben. And then we have the architecture set 21013, which I will show you right now. Behold, little Big Ben. Oh, it's so cute. 1934, the Palace of Westminster, which was where the House of Parliament was located at the time, was destroyed by a fire. Somebody must have left the coffee pot on or something. So, government went ahead and commissioned a contest, and they invited architects to submit plans, and as a result, we get Big Ben. It was construction started in 1943, and it was finished in 1860. Big Ben is comprised of sort of a sort of quote-unquote government building, government office building, and then also what they define as a clock tower, obviously. One of the most sought-after jobs actually in Great Britain, in London actually, is the person who at daylight savings time gets the privilege of climbing up and moving the hands back or forward as they see fit. No, I'm just kidding. They're probably not insane like us, and they probably don't do that weird turning of the clock back thing or ahead or whatever. Thank God that's hopefully going to be ending real soon. Anyway, so here you have it, Big Ben, and Lego set 21013. I wanted to zoom in a little bit on this particular model because I actually think some of the sort of finer details are actually what make Villa Savoye kind of interesting. It's located in Paris, which is in the outskirts of Paris, actually. And it was designed by a Swiss architect named Le Corbusier. Probably totally mangled that name too. There you go. Modernist architecture. It only stands 31 feet tall, so basically about 2 stories. And it's made out of reinforced concrete with post and beam construction. I wanted to zoom in because I actually think if you've ever seen a photograph of the actual home, and I've actually been to see it in person a long time ago. They really kind of nailed the windows. I think they really kind of got them, and they got them on all sides here. And then what you don't realize is that a lot of times you look at this and they say, oh, well, they missed the windows here. But that's actually, they're open in reality to this sort of open courtyard. And then they got the ramps that actually exist in the model. It's presently owned by the French government. It was not open for tours when I went. And I don't know if it's open presently for tours. But they really they nailed it here. Sorry, I knocked a few things off when I was doing the thing there. That's not supposed to be there. And one of the other parts of this that I really think that they got right was this sort of glass brick wall here. And I remember that from visiting. Really, it's just kind of a very sort of stunning representation. And then if you kind of look on the inside here, on the underneath of it, you can really kind of see they really captured sort of the actual reality and essence of what this property looks like in real life. They really just did a stunning job with this one. I'm really always very impressed by this model, and I really love having it up on the shelves. It's really one of my favorites of the architecture sets. So Villa Savoye, constructed 1928 to 1931. Again, modernist style. Square footage on the inside, a modest 4,392 square feet. So a small home for no one because nobody actually lives there. And there you have it, Villa Savoye, set number 21014. All right, so I kind of cheated on this one. I didn't buy the original Lego architecture set because honestly, any of the decent examples I found online, they were just really expensive. And I got a set. I mean, it's all legit and it's real deal Lego. It's not Schmego, but I bought it, and it was something that somebody had pieced together, using, real Lego pieces and the pieces that you would have found in the set. So it's all there and it's all legit. They just didn't piece it together from a legitimate, actual in the box Lego set. I think they bought some pieces on, Bricklink and things like that. But I think Sungyemun Gate, which by the way means Gate of Exalted Ceremonies, is one of the oldest actual historic landmarks that they have represented in the Lego architecture series. I think there are a couple more. You got Great Wall of China, and I think there are a few others that may be either as old or just a little bit older. I have to check on that. But this was constructed in 1396. And it took 2 years to create. It was actually part of a larger gate that actually encircled Seoul, Korea. And it was rebuilt in 1447, again there in 1479. It was destroyed partially in 1950 during the Korean War, and then fire damaged it in 2008. It has been restored. It used to have walls along either side. Now, if you ever see it, it's actually in the middle of what we in the Northeast charitably call a rotary, or you people in the rest of the world call a traffic circle. Yes. It is still there. It has been restored. It has a lot of historical significance for the people of South Korea, or Korea in general. And again, is one of the oldest structures that is represented in Lego architecture series. The designer of the gate is unknown. But the emperor at the time, the king, who came to power in Korea, marked a 500-year, not him himself obviously, but a 500-year reign and a dynasty. And this was one of the symbols of that dynasty. Eventually, like I said, they had the walls and it encircled the whole city. But if you see it now, what was at one point the tallest building in that part of Korea is now actually kind of dwarfed by massive skyscrapers in a very modern city. There's traffic that goes around it and things. Google a picture of it. It's actually kind of amazing to see, and also kind of nice, because I think that so often we kind of discard the old for the new, and I think that this is a great sort of example of how in real life we honor history and encapsulate history by also then incorporating it and weaving it into the fabric of modern life. So it's really nice to see. So set 21016. We will come back to 21015 in another episode because this is the last of the class of 2012. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our little trip around the world. We started there in Australia with the Sydney Opera House, then popped on over to London to take a look at Big Ben, and then over to France to take a peek at Villa Savoy, and then popped back on over to South Korea, where we got to see the Sungyemun Gate. Hope you enjoyed today's part on Lego architecture. Stay tuned Friday. We're going to be doing another Friday mailbag. I think we're back Monday. I'm trying to decide. I've got two thoughts for Monday. I want to either do 529 plans, or I might have something fun about age. I know that sounds really crazy and not fun, but actually age is kind of important, not just in our world, but in the tax world. And so thinking about putting something together about age and the various ages and all the fun things that happen to you as you get, from birth on up tax-wise. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a great day.